So yeah, about that Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake releasing tomorrow video. What happened there? Why didn't it actually happen? Hello RATBAGGERS, it's Jade going over the latest news, or another way of looking at it, absolute nonsense if you really don't like the idea of leaks and basically predictions. Undeniably though, the hype is real. Every video I've now seen since I did my first video, one of the first to talk about this potentially dropping literally a day later, has been blowing up. You might not like it, you might not like YouTubers dipping into speculation on leakers on X, then don't click the damn video. Go and subscribe and put notifications on Bethesda's YouTube page and wait for that official trailer to drop instead of being a salty ass in the comments. Yes, we know clickbait is bad, but let's get it right. Unless I've done like 20 videos in a week, which I haven't, FYI, and I don't think many of the other YouTubers that have covered this have also done the same, we're nowhere near the levels of the kind of fake merchants that peddled GTA 6 for absolute years. Like sure, it's really sucky wasting your time watching a video that doesn't end up actually having the correct info, of course. But there's genuine excitement from some fans, a lot of fans, that this is actually true, and even more evidence today and information that says it's happening this April and we might even have more of a pinpoint date. I'm pretty excited for this. I realise maybe some older gamers feel like it's not that great, but there are literally kids that never actually touched an Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 in their life, but have played Skyrim due to the many ports, and would have loved to dip into an earlier game with maybe slightly refined controls and maybe some other gameplay elements improved. So I'm getting that out of the way, off my chest. I was literally just reporting on what the leakers were saying. I never actually confirmed and said I firmly believe it was going to release on the Thursday. And even the guy that originally had the info did state it might come a week later. But shout out to Todd Andrew Howard. You will get Oblivion Remake when you deserve Oblivion Remake and not a second sooner. God damn right, Todd. Right, back to matters at hand. Let's take a look at the original stuff that was wrong and really weigh up all the new information that's come to light in the last few days. So Detective Seeds, the same guy that said it would release maybe on Thursday or next week, look for Oblivion Remake game week of April 21st after the ESO anniversary event ends. Initial info timeline was off, I own it. It happened doing this. Highly confident on dropping after event concludes, as it's more than from one person. The project is 100% real for those doubting it. And then this is something that lots of other people have been actually examining. It turns out if you go and check the DB database store for Steam, there's a whole bunch of changes that have occurred, not just 24 days ago, but more recently, effectively removing certain trailers from the original game on Steam. The Game of Year Deluxe Edition no longer has a trailer, and this has happened in the last week or so, while the original Game of the Year Edition that didn't include the actual DLC does still have the trailer, but something's afoot. So that's pretty old news. Lots of other people have now covered that. What is new though, according to this reply, the OG game is being delisted in Xbox stores in several regions. It's still available up in the UK, but again, according to the tweet, and something I can't really verify, but maybe other people around the world could try, the game has been removed in certain places. Why? Because they're maybe not restricting it completely, but they're changing certain things so people land on a new version first. So no hate to Detective Seeds, things happen. I'm in the camp that I'd rather a little bit of speculation that sometimes gets wrong. This guy hasn't been posting every single day Oblivion's coming out, just like I mentioned earlier. So it's not really a case of people just milking stuff. Sure, there's definitely someone trying to get some extra clout, but why wouldn't they? If they've got this info at hand and they think it's genuinely believable, why would they not want to try and get it out there and be, you know, someone who's on the brink of releasing this big news? I'm no different. Apart from doing guides and regular news, there's a bunch of times I've been the first person to reveal or talk about a survival game. Maybe not RPGs because they're normally done by the bigger boys, but there is something quite exciting about being first. Of course, if that info carries on being wrong though, and people keep making videos and milking it for all it's worth, then yeah, it's a problem. But I'm not responsible for other tubers, and I'm not responsible for people clicking on the damn video. Don't like this kind of stuff. You just simply have to hide the channel, or as said, wait for the official announcement and don't take any interest whatsoever. But secretly, all them haters, all the people commenting that this is nonsense, they're not making this, they're not stealth dropping it, you all know actually you'd love this info to be a little bit real. Apart from the people that still think it's a cash grab having a remaster after 20 years. Give me a break. There's people out there that have played this game on nothing but 25 FPS. Xbox 360, I can't remember how it ran, but I can pretty much guarantee it probably wasn't that great, not to mention all the problems that PlayStation 3 had with various Bethesda games, including Skyrim. If it really has got all the benefits of revamped stealth system, archery system, combat, and a lot more, I'm willing to get behind Bethesda, even if they have been a bit douchey in the past with certain things. So what's the real story behind Oblivion though? Well, we know it existed since a long time ago, meant to have come out in 2023 perhaps, due to some leaked documents. And of course, then we kind of gather it got changed in scope. Instead of just being a remaster or basically an upgraded version with some more fancy graphics, they actually tinkered around with some of the gameplay settings, and it's taken a bit longer due to COVID and various other things. Bethesda are in the throes of not having necessarily the biggest or greatest time the last couple of years. Fallout 76 might try and get a few plaudits now, but let's face it, that game was dog shit when it first launched, and I still don't think it's actually that amazing now. But it does have its whales, it does have its cash cows that continue to play it. Skyrim, of course, is still hugely popular, insanely popular still, even after all the different remakes and reversions on different platforms. But they still need to keep generating money. Starfield wasn't that much of a huge phenomenon as they expected, although it's probably definitely sold well. And of course, with the PlayStation launch imminent, they're still going to make a bunch of money, I'm sure. But they still want more. Hence why I'm showing you the Curation Club trailer, because you can bet your bottom dollar we might see paid mods for Oblivion. Whether you like it or not, these have started to turn the tide. From being a pariah in 2017 when it first got mooted and implemented, Curation mods, basically paid DLCs by creators, they arrived in a stinky fashion. People just weren't ready to really go ahead with the concept of paying for mods. Something that's meant to be done out the sheer enjoyment of a game or your own knowledge proving you can make something creative. But since the anniversary edition, where they made a whole bunch of them free, the initial ones that came out, before eventually maybe putting it on ice for a bit, they then went ham. There are tons and tons of these paid mods now being added to the game, and so I think they must be doing pretty well. Some of my best views are still coming from me covering the free ones that are launched, and I can only presume that's because people are picking up the game, but they're also seeing them and coming across new ones that they're buying too. Now this is purely speculation on my part, but Oblivion Remake, I think, isn't just there to have a one-time purchase and get people buying it. I think they'll open it up to paid mods, as well as maybe traditional mod support, you gotta hope. I'm not condoning it, but at least I think in opinions nowadays, if creators are getting a little bit of that wedge, then that's okay, as long as they get enough of it. I've weirdly also seen some argument that actually mods can't be supported on Unreal Engine games. Yes they can. Ark's got a huge vibrant modding scene and it's all been done in Unreal Engine over the years. Conan Exiles, a bunch of games. So if the rumours are true about Oblivion being redone in Unreal, that's not going to be an issue. So I would assume with Microsoft still a bit floundering and looking for money, putting their games on other platforms, Daddy Microsoft wants their cash back for spending it on Bethesda in the first place. Bethesda are doing all they can to subtly make more money. Hence why we're getting the Oblivion remake, supposedly in 2 or 3 years a Fallout 3 remake. And yeah, I reckon they will monetize the crap out of this. Let's just hope the horse armor actually makes it as free this time. Anywho, went off on a bit of a tangent there. Let's return back to the ESO event. It's been 10 years since the Elder Scrolls Online first debuted, so they've got like a 3-week celebration. This began last week, and currently right now Microsoft is also celebrating its 50-year anniversary. So right now there's a lot that you could simply just slip in a stealth drop and absolutely blow people's minds. The ESO event doesn't actually finish until 10 AM on April the 22nd. As has been pointed out, the actual Oblivion original game came out 19 years ago on the 20th of March. Surely that would have been the better time to go ahead and release this. Well, 19 years isn't exactly the best, I would say, rounded number. I think others are saying that the original trailer got revealed the year before, pretty much almost at around the same time, so you could call it 20 years for knowing about it, but I don't know. But I think they probably didn't want to actually confuse too much in terms of Game Pass, taking anyone from playing games like Avowed. And absolutely, their ideal placement for Oblivion would be June. But of course, we now know the Nintendo Switch 2 is out that month, which will dominate the news. So I do think June was the original date, and they decided to move it up. And it just happened to be, well, we can't do it on March, but we can maybe do it at April. why not chuck it in at the very end, last day of the Elder Scrolls event? Maybe we'll show off a trailer on that last day as part of the celebration, and then that'll get everyone really hyped. And that week of April the 21st actually fits in more with what Nate the Hate, the original leaker of all of this info, pretty much in the last few months, he said later in April. Literally even 10 hours ago, I've already said it's the second half of the month. When people were coming at him with Detective Seed's dates, he said that's not the date nor week I've been told, i.e. the week that's coming up. And again, only 11 hours ago, literally saying I've got no concern about the Oblivion remake being legit or it coming in April. He then replied it'll be close enough to someone's birthday who mentions it's on the 21st. So Nate has been pretty consistent after changing it from June to April. He never gave a definitive date, but it is starting to more tally up now when you look at everything that's gone on. With the Speedster guy also saying later on now in April, with it possibly happening after the event of ESO, the removal of the trailers and the game from certain stores. For the people still swimming in denial, you might need to go and find a new river. Come and jump in with the hype, expecting Oblivion to launch pretty much on the 22nd. That's what I'm saying right now. Agree, disagree, let me know. What's your big deal? Why can't we have a remaster after 20 years? Why can't a game for all the Zoomers be enjoyed right now? I have downloaded the old version on Xbox Series X. I'm going to be giving it a shot this week just to get myself in the flow and ready again. To check out them videos or live streams, and I'll see you RATBAGGERS for more news if it breaks.